Shubhikamayena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Vadati Sevadatigam Vandeham Shri Guru Kyuta Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sajjatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Savadetam Savadutam Paridana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitancha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasha Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauritase Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabantu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gauragi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Haritire Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Evita Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So I speak in English now. So I'm very fortunate to be here to discuss the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And in fact, this is one of the most special chapters of Bhagavad Gita. If you see the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, first 6 chapters is Karma Yoga. Middle 6 chapters is Bhakti Yoga. And the last 6 chapters is Jnana Yoga. So, and in the middle 6 chapters so it's like a sandwich. The cream is inside. So Bhakti Yoga is the cream in the sandwich, or a jewel in the jewel box. And out of the Bhakti Yoga, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, the most important chapter is the 9th chapter. Because that is about Shuddha Bhakti. So Krishna has talked about Karma, Jnana and Ashtanga Yoga in the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna is speaking about the Bhakti Yoga from the 7th chapter onwards. The 6th chapter, it's more about Karma, Jnana and Yoga. And in Bhakti also, the first 7th chapter, Krishna introduces the Karmishrit Bhakti. In the 8th chapter, Krishna talks about the Karmishrit Bhakti and the Jnana Bhakti in the 7th chapter. In the 8th chapter, he introduces the Yog Mishrit Bhakti. So how the Jnana and Karma Mishrit Bhakti in the 7th chapter? Krishna says that Bahunam Janamante Jnanam Mam Prapadyante. 4 types of people worship me. Jnani cha Bharsha. Out of them, Jnani is the most dear to me. And then Krishna to the people who want to go back to end the cycle of birth and that they worship me. And the 8th chapter, he talks about the Yog Mishrit Bhakti, where and he talks about a Yog Mishrit Bhakti, that how a yogi remembers Krishna at the time of death by putting his prana in the kapala and he comes back to him. But then Krishna introduces Shuddha Bhakta at the end of the 8th chapter, that one who is my pure devotee, he doesn't have to think of the kala. He doesn't have to think of the time of the day, because his Anya Bhakta always dependent upon me, so he anyway comes home back to Godhead. So 9th chapter, then Krishna completely talks about the Shuddha Bhakti Yoga, and therefore this 9th chapter is the most important chapter of Bhagavad Gita. There. So we'll see the whole 9th chapter at a glance. So we start with the first verse, Krishna saying that idam tetu guhya tamam. So previously Krishna talked about guhya tara. Guhya tara. So the knowledge of soul is guhya, is secret. But guhya tamam, guhya tara, Krishna talked about the 7th chapter, he's talking about knowledge that I am the Supreme Lord. Now Krishna is talking about his Bhakta Vatsalyata, that how pure devotional service captures me, and that's why he's speaking about Guhya Tamam. But what's the qualification to Hari? Pravakshyami, I speak to you, O Arjuna, why you are unsuyave, you are without envy. And how this knowledge is Jnana Vijnana Sahitam, Moksha Se Ashubhat. So this is knowledge with Jnana and Vijnana both. The Gyan is the knowledge and the Vijnana science, the application of the knowledge. Gyan Vijnan Sahitam Moksha se Yaj Gyatva. After knowing this, Moksha se Ashva. You'll attain moksha. Now, what's the qualification to? Hey, Krishna is talking about the qualification to understand Shrimad Bhagavad Gita there. And what is this qualification? Is having no envy. Like many people ask, why Krishna is telling about himself that no, I'm God, I'm this, I'm the source of everything. Krishna should be humble, God should be humble, should not tell. Now, suppose the son goes to his father and asks, Father, what do you do? Now, father is a multi-billionaire. He has many business. Now, father said, no, I'm a bhikhari. No, I don't do anything. Will it be truth? Oh, the father said, beta, I have a crores of rupees business and it's for you only tomorrow. So, like that, Arjuna is asking, Krishna, please tell about yourself. And Krishna is telling, I'm the Supreme Lord. So, this is there. In fact, Krishna is very humble in Bhagavad Gita. Why? He is not completely talking about his glories. But when his devotees speak about, they completely talk about his glories in Srimad Bhagavatam. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita is 700 shlokas and Bhagavatam 18,000 shlokas. There. Because when devotees speak about his glories, it's quite much, it's quite high. Now here Krishna is talking about idam tadagyatamam prakshami anasuyave there. Now this story comes of South Indian Brahmana. So one time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to Srirangam during the Chaturmas time. And Chaturmas time, when he came to Srirangam temple, there was a one Brahmana, he was crying tears. He was reading Bhagavad Gita. So he was reading Gita but not perfectly. He was mispronouncing the words. There. Idam, tutam, gahuya, taraha, pavaksaha. Like that, he was reciting. And many people were laughing upon him. But he is crying tears. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, oh Brahmana, why are you crying? And that Brahmana said, oh, I'm crying because what am I seeing here? That when I read Gita, I see Krishna carrying the chariot of Arjuna. How the Supreme Lord is becoming a chariot driver of his devotee. Seeing this, I am crying. Seeing the Bhakta Vatsalya nature of the Lord, I am crying. And Lord said, and see, I don't know reading the shlokas, but it's the order of my Guru, so I am reading it. And Chaitanya said, oh, you know the real Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because if all have faith in the order of Guru, you have no envy. And even people are making fun of him, he's going bindas. So this is a mood of understanding Bhagavad Gita, having no envy. And the next slogan of Krishna is Raja Vidya. This Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge which is going to give him, now Pravakshami Ansevad Idam Guhyatamam. It is Raja Vidya, the king of all knowledge. See, there is Brahm Vidya and there is Raja Vidya. So there are many Vidyas. Like we read many Vidyas in the, even you see in the ordinary sense, there are many Vidyas. For example, if you see the Vidya of like even you see a Diwali ka pataka, there is some chemical bonding, it bursts and it's energy. Then you see a more advanced bomb which is used to dynamite, which is used to break the hills. So that has more advanced potency because more nuclear bonding. Atom bomb has more, but Atma has more energy even than the atom bomb. And beyond the energy of the soul, which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter, you are not his body, you are a spirit soul, that is Brahm Vidya. And one time, Ravana asked Narad Muni, teach me this Brahm Vidya. Narad said, oh, no, I can't teach you. Ravana became angry and took a talwar, Chandrahas talwar, and crossed over Narad Muni. But nothing happened to Narad Muni because of his spiritual body. The Brahm Vidya. Then beyond this is Raja Vidya. So one is the knowledge of the power of the soul. Another thing is the knowledge of the power of bhakti. That how God becomes inclined to a devotee who is devotional to him. And that's called Raj Vidya. And the Raj Guhyam. Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam. It's a greater secret because people don't know it. That how Lord is so merciful to his devotees and how just by simple process of bhakti you can achieve perfection. Pavitram idam uttamam. And why it is Pavitram idam uttamam? See, out of all the purifying things, the bhakti is the most purifying. In Namashakam, Shri Rupa Goswami says, oh Nam Prabhu, nobody can give up his prarabdha karma unless he experiences those prarabdha karmas. But you are so merciful, one who takes shelter of your holy name, one who takes shelter of your Nam Prabhu, can even cut his prarabdha karmas. So there is a verse comes in Padma Puran, Aprarabdha Phalam Kutam Bijam. Aprarabdham Phalam Kutam Bijam. So these are the four types of sinful reaction which all goes away by the process of bhakti. And therefore the Shuddha Bhakti is Pavitramidam Uttamam. Neither. So generally, four causes we have of suffering in our life. One suffering is which we are already suffering, either some disease, some litigation, some loan or something. So that is one suffering we are already having in our life. The second suffering is the tension, anxieties we have, or we have some desires we are not able to fulfill it, or tendency to commit sin, bad habits, kutam and bijam, and our prarabdha suffering which are going to come in the future. But bhakti has a power to cut all the sufferings. How all the sufferings? Bhakti cut all the suffering parlate, just like you put a needle in a leaf. So one by one, you take a sack of leaves, you put a needle, one by one, all the needle will pierce everything. Same way, when you start doing bhakti, first the aprarabdha karmas goes away, which are going to come in the future. Then your prarabdha karma start changing, the kutam and bijam starts going. The heart is getting purified of sinful habit. Therefore, pavittamitam uttamam. It is pratesh ahagamam dharma, that it gives direct perception of the self. So when you read Bhagavad Gita, when you do the process of bhakti, self-realization does not become a theory. To understand I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul becomes very easy. Now why it becomes easy? Because in Bhagavad Gita it is said, I remember one time, I was in 2011, I was go train to train distributing Bhagavad Gita. We'll catch one train from Pune to Lonavala, another train from Lonavala to Pune. And in between, when we get tired, we just take Bhagavad Gita and read it. And that reading was the most special reading, most absorbed. And I was learning Bhagavad Gita, which I never understood the way it was before. Because when you serve a great soul, when you do the service to the Lord gives realization in the heart. And therefore, the December month is a book distribution month. So when you go out for books, it's Bhakti Yoga. And that's not, it's direct service to Srila Prabhupada. And when you do that service, you get many jewels of realizations from Bhagavad Gita there. And that is why doing the seva painstakingly is very, very important. So whether it's a process of book distribution, the process of chanting the holy name or seva, the bhakti gives the direct perception of the self. It gives spiritual realization. And it is susukham kartum afayam. Anybody can do it. Even a child can do it. Even a 4-year child can dance in the kirtan. Even a 4-year child can eat prasadam. So anybody can do this. Susukham kartum afayam. And it is afayam. Even after going back to Godhead, what we are going to do? The Bhakti Yoga only. So therefore, it is Kartam Apyam. But when you are doing Bhakti Yoga, what one should not do? Ashadana Purushaha Dharmasya Yasya Parantapaha Aprapyamam Nivartante Mritti Sansara Vartmani. If somebody is Ashadhana, who doesn't have Shraddha, Purushaha, such a Purushaha, Dharmasya Yasya Parantapaha. Or Parantap. Parantap is the name of Arjun. Dharmasya Aprapyamam. He doesn't achieve me. He again keep moving in the cycle of birth and death. Mrityu Sansara Vartmani. So the Jiva keep roaming in the cycle of birth and death. So Ashraddhana Purusha. So with that I'll tell one story which happened in Tasgaon. You heard a story of book distribution of Tasgaon? So in Tasgaon, one book distributor was distributing Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita. Now he felt thirsty and he wanted to drink water. Right? But he didn't have money. So what did he do? He said, okay, please take Bhagavad Gita in exchange of Bisleri bottle. Those days, Bhagavad Gita was quite cheap. So he gave Bhagavad Gita and he accepted. Now those people all in the hotel, they will drink liquor every day night, called Daru party, after there. But they had a faith. With faith, oh, this Bhagavad Gita has come, that means something special is there, let us read. So they will read one shloka of Bhagavad Gita and the Prabhupada purport, and then they will start their liquor party. And they continued like that because they had a Shraddha. So they do that and then they come to the third chapter. The third chapter, Krishna says that if you eat anything without offering to me, then you are a thief. Then okay, let's offer. So they start offering singdana, mungfali, to the Bhagavad Gita before. And at last 12 o'clock when they're leaving, some person says, "Arey, Bhagwan ka prasad hai, wo prasad kha ke jayega." So now came to the 7th chapter. The 7th and 8th chapter talk about one should remember Krishna by chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So because they're so faithfully reading the Bhagavad Gita, one verse by one verse, so by the time they came to 7th chapter, what happened? They start chanting. The first they offer bhoga to the Gita and they chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then they have the liquor party. As a true story. It's not. And then, so 7 chapters, so they continue 8 chapter, 9 chapter, 10 chapter, 11. When they came to the 17th chapter, Narakasya Tiri Narakasya Dharam Kama Krodha Lobham. And in that, Dasuri Pravati. So they're drinking, one should not drink. So then we should not drink. Now by the time the spiritual practices are becoming stronger. But now they say, okay, let us not drink. So when they come to 17th chapter, they say we should not drink. So they stop drinking also. So the whole program became that they read Gita, they'll chant Hare Krishna, do Kirtan, and the time is over. Now one day His Holiness Loknath Maharaj came to that place. And they told the whole story to Maharaj. And I said, yes, now you need satsang. So Maharaj started sending one devotee and all those devotees became initiated devotee and became a program. So this is the beauty of Gita distribution. Right? It's a time bomb. If anybody with little faith will take it, no man, we don't know what may happen to that person there. So therefore the story of Bhagavad Gita is very, very special there. But on the other hand, somebody is very, पता नहीं प्रभु जी हम चैंटिंग कर रहे हैं, क्या होगा, क्या प्रोसेस काम कर रहा है, नहीं कर रहा है, हम क्या कर रहे हैं. Then मृत्यु संसार वर्तमानी. See, we should not have blind faith. We should have reasonable faith. What is reasonable faith? That you can ask all questions. Right? You can ask all questions if you have a doubt. I know that andvishwas karke karna hai. But even after getting doubt, maybe like this, maybe like this. So bhakti, because faith is beyond intelligence. What intelligence cannot perceive, you can perceive by faith in bhakti. Because Krishna is beyond the 3 gunas. You can't understand him by intelligence. We can understand only by bhakti. But surely by intelligence we can understand which is the right guru. We are in a right parampara or not. What are the principles of bhakti, what are not the principles of bhakti. That we should understand through intelligence. But Krishna is beyond intelligence. Is understood by faith. Then Krishna talks about his relationship with the world. Every chapter of Gita, especially the 7th chapter, it offers of one common theme, common way. First, Krishna will talk about his glories. And then we'll talk about surrender unto me. Right? Why? Unless you know somebody's glories, how you surrender to him. If you don't know that person is ready to, capable to give you shelter, how do you surrender to him? So Krishna will first talk about his glories to give us a faith that I can do. So therefore, when Krishna is speaking his glories, his Aishwarya Gyan is also very important for us to develop the faith in him. In fact, if somebody reads Bhagavad Gita nicely, the 5 subjects of Gita, the karma, the jiva, the Ishvara, karma, jnana, and yoga, then what happens for a person? You can see every situation in life based on these 5 factors. And you don't get bewildered, mohyanti. And that's what Bhagavad Gita is talking about. Right? So, maya tatamidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtinaha matasthani sarvbhutani na chaham tesha avasthita. So, maya tatam idam sarvam. Now, this verses 4, 5, 6 are contradictory. The 4th Krishna is saying, maya tatam, whatever is there, I am everything. Jagat avyakta mutana, I am unmanifested form in this whole world. Matasthani sarvbhutani, all the living beings are me. Na chaham tesho vasthita, but I am not in them. And the next verse Krishna says, na cha matasthani bhutani. That all the bhutas are not in me. Pashyame Yogmeshwaram. See, previous verse Krishna was telling matasthani sarv bhutani. All living beings are situated in me. And then na cha matasthani bhutani. That yet everything created does not rest in me. So Pashyame Yogmeshwaram. So very contradictory verses. How to understand this? Bhuta Bhritya Bhutasta Mam Atma Bhuta Bhavana. I am the maintainer of the Jiva, Bhut Bharta, Bhut Brin, there. And I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation. So to understand about Krishna's energy and about Krishna, even Brahmaji gets bewildered. In Brahm Vimon Leela, when Brahmaji gets bewildered, he's crying tears, Lord, I misunderstand you. And he's offering amazing prayer. Lord, how do I understand? At this moment, just before, now you are here. But when Mother Yashoda saw the universal form in your mouth, she saw in your stomach. She saw you in your, she saw all the planets, whole sun, moon, everything, and she saw herself also in Krishna also. And he said, I get bewildered. For example, we are in this, sitting in the center. Now the center is put in your stomach. How inconceivable it is. Can the center, including all of us, be in our stomach and we are in the center? If Krishna, if the universe is in the Lord, then how can the Lord be in the universe? So seeing this, Brahmaji is getting bewildered. That everything is in me, but I am not in them. Now what does that mean? That as Paramatma, Krishna is manifested in everything, everything switches upon him. So see, Krishna's first expansion is Narayan. So Narayan comes as Mahavishnu, the first Purusha who does the creation. So from the body of Mahavishnu, millions of universes come out. Then when the universes come out from the body of Mahavishnu, one universe then enters by Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So Garbhodakshai Vishnu enters that universe, the second, when the universe forms. From Garbhodakshai Vishnu, the Garbha, then Brahmaji comes. And on the lotus, all the planets came. Then Brahmaji further creates. And the Garbhodakshai Vishnu is Antaryami for the whole universe. If he leaves, the universe will fall apart like anything. Then the third Purusha is the Shirodakshai Vishnu, who is the Paramatma. The Shirodakshai Vishnu is the Paramatma. And that Paramatma is situated in everyone's heart. So as Paramatma, Krishna is in the whole creation. But as Krishna, he is not in the creation. So what a Mayavadi says, because the God is lost in his creation, he lost his identity. For Krishna disproving this point, though everything is manifest by my energy, but I am not lost, I exist as Krishna playing my beautiful flute. So everything comes from me. And that's the meaning. And then Krishna gives example. Yatha akashasya, in analogy, yatha akashasya nityam vayu sartargo mahan तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मतस्थानि प्रधारय. आकाश में जैसे वायु होती है. So now if you see, is Akash Vayu? Even if Vayu is not there, Akash will be there. But Akash becomes the supporting place for the Vayu, by which the air travels. But in the same way, Krishna says, I'm the supporting factor for all the jivas. The Vayu is not in the Vayu is in the sky, but sky is not in the Vayu. I mean, the sky is not dependent on Vayu. The Vayu composes of the sky. The same way that we are dependent on Krishna, Krishna is not dependent upon us. The universe is dependent on Krishna. The Krishna is not dependent on the universe. There. And then says, Sarvabhutani kantahe prakriti yanti mamikam kalpakshai punastani kalpadam visarjamiyam. So as I said that from the body of Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu comes Brahmaji. And then the day, that's the time the sun is created. So every day of Brahma, the sun is created. And every night of Brahma, sun is destroyed. So when the sun is created and the sun is destroyed, then what happens? The whole creation comes back to Krishna. The whole jiva, all jivas. So at the night of Brahma, the universe remains as it is. But all the jivas again enter the body of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And that's why Krishna is saying, Sarvabhutani kantahe prakriti yanti mamikam kalpakshay. So the kalpa is called one day of Brahma. So when the kalpa ends, the night of Brahma comes, the day of Brahma is over, the Kalpa ends, Kalpa Shaya. Enter Punastadi Kalprata Visarjami. So at the beginning of another million, by my potency, I again create them. That means all of us were in the body of Gadadhar Krishna. And when the night will come, if we don't leave this universe, go to Golok Vrindavan, such one destination is sure for all of us, will go in the body of Gadadhar Vishnu. Now, we don't relate with this lifetime because the lifetime of humans is only 100 years. But somebody may say, okay, what if I become a Devta? I have a life of millions of years. But the problem is, even at the end of millions of years, even Devtas enter the body of Gadadhar Vishnu. So there's a death for everybody, in Krishna's support for everyone. And then Krishna, Pragati Swamastabhyam Visarjami Puna Puna Bhuta Gramam Imam Krishna Vasham Pragati Vashat. So I do it every day of Brahma. Brahma comes from my body, Brahma creates, and then Brahma sleeps. During the night time, Brahmaji sleeps, and the whole creation sleeps. So due to my effect only, the creation is created and the creation is getting destroyed. So this is Prakatim Sam Vashtabhya Visarjami Puna Puna. So again it creates, again it destroys. So that means whole matter nature is working in the direction of Krishna. Maya Dakshin Prakati Swate Sa Charachara. So he said, Nacha Mamtani. Now again, one theme Krishna will again bring in Bhagavad Gita, because Arjuna was fearful of getting entangled by fighting the battle. He said, if you talk about Buddhi Yoga, why do you engage me in this warfare? Now Krishna is saying, now which is more difficult to do, of fighting a war or the creation of this universe, which looks more complicated? Creation of the universe and destroying the universe, and two, that is more complicated. You have to kill all the jivas. Arjuna has to kill some living entity in the battlefield, but in the end of creation, you have to kill all the living entities. And they do die there. So Krishna is doing complicated work. Then Krishna gives examples. See, I do such complicated work. Nacha mam tani karmani nibadanti dhananjaya vadasina anasaktam teshu karmasu. But I do not get bound. Learn from me, Arjuna. And Krishna is saying, when you understand that I am not bound, you doing your duties as householders, you do your duty as a warrior, you do your duty as a software engineer, you do not get entangled when you learn that how do I do my duty. There's one common theme in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking. If we learn how Krishna does his duty, we also doesn't get entangled when we also do our duty in the way Krishna does his duty. So, Nacha mam tani karmani nidhanti dhananjaya udasina vadasina. So I am completely anasakta. I do not get attached to it. And then Krishna says, Maya adhyakshen prakati swate sa characharam hetu anena kantahe jagadvi parivartate. That Maya adhyakshen, this prakriti is working under my direction. Swate sa charachaya hetu anena kantahe jagadvi parivartate. So this I talk about the 5 subjects of Bhagavad Gita: Jiva, Ishvara, Prakriti, Kala and Guna. So the 5 subjects of Bhagavad Gita. Now in this, if you see how there is a triangle, and what is a triangle? Jiva, Paramatma and Prakriti. Now if you see, Jiva cannot do anything on itself. Even lifting a hand is done by Prakriti. Jiva can only desire. Jiva's doership is only in desire. So there are 3 types of doer: desire doer, sanctioning doer, and executing doer. The Jivatma is desire doer, Paramatma is sanctioning doer, and Prakriti is executing doer. And what is Prakriti? Our body is Prakriti, is not the Jiva. Jiva is only the soul. So even a Jiva has to lift his hand, he needs sanction of Paramatma. If Paramatma gives paralysis, then sanction is stopped. Right? People get paralysis, the sanction is stopped. They cannot move their hand. That means everything in this universe, what is happening is Bhagwan Ichha. Ishvara Ichha, that is happening in this world. There. So the Jiva can only desire, and it can only act in the limited control of the Paramatma has given him. But therefore Jiva is responsible for his free will. He can misuse free will or he can right use of free will. there. But the actions are done by the Prakriti. Prakriti kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha hankar vyanatma kartamiti manyate. So therefore Krishna is saying, so Krishna had first established that Prakriti is doing the things. But now Krishna is saying, the Prakriti does according to my direction. So when we take shelter of Krishna, then we go beyond the control of Prakriti, under the control of Ishvara. So mera dakshin Prakriti swata sacharacharam hetu anena kante jagadi parvate. So whatever happening in this world, Om Purnamidam Purnada Purnam 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 Udachyate Purnam Purnam Purna Adaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. So what is there? Purnam Adaha. So what is, because the Lord is Purna. So whatever comes from him, Om Purna, is also Purna. And even one complete unit you take out from that Purna is also complete. So Lord is complete. Everything which comes out from the Lord is complete. Purnamidam Purnamadha Purnam Purnam Eva Avashyashyate. So it's a complete whole, whatever the Lord is doing, isn't it? There. So Krishna is saying, Hedun Kante Jagati Vari Vartate. So the Lord, so whatever happening in this world, sometimes we think why this is happening like this, why this is happening like that. But it's all Purna. And to think it's not Purna is also Purna. because separated from the Lord. And that's why we feel there is a Purna. But when our consciousness is connected with the Lord, then we understand everything in this world is happening by the desire of the Supreme Lord. And Lord has a plan for everybody and everything, and only we should know what is my dharma in this situation, and we should act according to our dharma. So though somebody may be in distress due to the arrangement of the Lord, but it may be my dharma to help that person. So I should know my dharma in that situation, and understanding whatever Lord is doing, it's the Lord has a higher plan. He has a complete control over Prakriti. Nothing happens without his sanction. Avajananti ma mudha manushim tanum ashritam param bhavam jananto. So avajananti. So janna means, jananti means janna. Avajananti, जो मुझको नहीं जानते. Mula. Those people who are Muda. Fool. Muda means fool, or like an foolish man. Avajanin namana. What they think? Manushim tanum ashritam. I have taken a human body. I have taken a human body. Who thinks that? The foolish people think. And param bhavam jananto, not knowing that I am the Ishvara, I am the bhutam avvayam, bhuta bhavana, bhuta pratna. Mam bhuta maheshwaram avajananti. They don't know about me, but I am the Ishvara of all the bhutas. And what happens to such people? Mogasha moga karmano moga jnana vichetasaha rakshasim asurim cheva prakritim mohinim shataha. So such people, what happens to them is mogasha. All their hopes get bewildered. If they are karmis, their karma kanda doesn't produce any fruit. If they are jnanis, their jnana doesn't lead to liberation. If they are devotees, they don't attain mukti. Why? If they think my form is material. So Vishnu Jagadish writes in the 11th canto, when Krishna was just about to leave the planet, Kali came. Lord, मेरा तो कोई होप ही नहीं है, मैं तो मर जाऊंगा, क्योंकि सब जगह आपकी भक्ति हो रही है. कुछ तो करिए भगवान की, मेरा कुछ तो साम्राज्य चले. तब भगवान ने बोला ठीक है, एक काम करता हूँ, मैं लोगों को बेवकूफ़ बनाने के लिए अपना शरीर छोड़ जाऊंगा. I leave my body. So when people think that I am my body, I am a material body, nothing will work for them. If they are bhaktas, their bhakti will not work. If they are jnanis, their jnana will not work. If they are karmis, their karma kanda will not work. When they think my body is material. And that's why Krishna, to give space to Kali Yoga, to Kali, he left a body to fool people. But Bhagavatam says, Krishna sadham upgate dharma jnana dhibhisaha. Kalam nashto dasham eka pran arko dhanodita. That Krishna left to his spiritual abode. But what kind of body Krishna left? to just fool the materialist people in the Prabhas Kshetra. And that's what Krishna is saying. Those who think my body is material, nothing will work for them. So therefore, transcendence means having a transcendental faith in the transcendental body of the Supreme Lord. The Krishna's body is transcendental. Even Krishna is doing Ras Leela is transcendental. Janam karma jama divyam evam yaveti tattvaha tektva deham punajanna namiti mamiti arjuna. And that is why only you can know Krishna through his devotee, not otherwise. Many people who have tried to understand Krishna, many scholars without his devotees, they have said, hey, what Krishna is doing? Because Krishna's pastimes are such, only through his devotees you can understand it, there's no other way. So he gives bhakti through his devotees, not otherwise. And people don't understand Krishna unless they hear from the acharyas that how Krishna's doing Ras Leela or Krishna lifting Govardhan hill, all are divine and transcendental pastimes beyond the three gunas. There. And then Krishna talk. So Krishna's talk about in the 7th chapter, Devi Esha Gurmai Mammaya Taraktaya Mameva Papadyante Mayam Etam Tarantite. And here Krishna is speaking about Mahatmanastu Mam Partha. Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Devim Prakatim Ashita. Bhajanti Ananya Manso Gyata Bhutadhyamyam. To those who take shelter of Devi Prakriti. Bhajanti Ananya Manso. They worship me with Ananyaman, with deep devotion. Ananya Manso. Bhajanti Ananya Manso Gyatva Bhutadim Avayam. Knowing me, the Bhut Adi Avayam. There. So this is the beauty that those are the Mahatmas. See, there is a Antaranga Shakti and there is a Bahiranga Shakti. Just the way there are three gunas, Satogun, Rajogun, Tamagun. Like that, which gunas are there? Ahladini Shakti, Samvit, Sannidhi. So this, now this Rajogun, Tamagun, Satogun are under Mahamaya. And Ahladini, Sannidhi, Samvit, they are under Yogamaya. So now, when we are under three gunas, chanting the holy names will be difficult. But when you receive mercy of Krishna and his devotees and get the mercy of these three potencies, chanting the holy names is easy. And that's why Krishna is saying those are Mahatmas, they take shelter under me. And because they take shelter under me, what happens? They surpass this material nature. Bhajanti Anansam Ananya Manso Gyatva Bhutadim Avayam. So we can do bhajan only when we take shelter of Guru Parampara. And only when we take shelter of Guru Parampara, doing devotional service becomes very easy. There. But when we do not take shelter of devotion of bhakti or of Guru Parampara, doing bhakti becomes difficult. So bhakti by nature is bliss producing. Pratyeshabgavam dharmaya. By nature, bhakti is greatly nourishing our heart. But when we take shelter under Antaranga Shakti. So the devotees who are there, they take, like Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami was chanting the holy name in the hot sun. And Sanatana Goswami was passing by. And he was so absorbed in chanting, he forgot about the hot sun also. But then thereby Sanatana Goswami was passing by and he saw Radharani was herself protecting the head of Raghunath Das Goswami. And next time he saw Raghunath was absorbed in japa and there's a tiger. And Krishna was carrying the stick and saving him from the tiger. So Sanatana said, make a kuti for you. You are taking service from Radha and Krishna. So bhajanti ananya manso. So because ananya manso, then the Antaranga Shakti covers the jiva. And you don't feel suffering also. Because the suffering is due to the three gunas. Satagun, Rajogun, Tamagun, to Maya Devi. But you have received the Antaranga Shakti, you forget the misery of this world. So one devotee, while distributing books, he would distribute book and he got a fracture. And he was admitted in the hospital. So devotee, he got some accident and got a fracture and the temple person goes to meet him. So maybe I should give him some Dilasa, Prabhu, don't worry, all that. He said, Prabhuji, I was so engaged in distributing books that I didn't have time to read books. But now what happened? Because Krishna gave me so much time to read Prabhupada books, so I'm so happy. So because the devotee looks at opportunity to serve Krishna in every situation of life, so he's not miserable. Then Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. So those who are Mahatmas, what they do? Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. They're always glorifying the Lord. Now, always glorifying the Lord doesn't mean that you sit and chant the holy names of the Lord 24 hours. Whatever you do, your purpose should be to glorify Krishna. You can be engaged in many activities, but the purpose should be to glorify the Supreme Lord. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. And then Yatantaschandrinata. Krishna knows it's not easy. You need determination. Yatantascha Drinvata. You have to put an endeavor, right? So Krishna also knows that bhakti is not going to be very easy. It requires yatan. Yatantascha Drinvataha. Namashantascha Mam Bhaktya. And Krishna is saying that pay obeisances to me. And how until when I should do Nitya Yuta Pasade, day after day you should do. Life after life, perpetually. So this is the message of Krishna. In fact, Bhagavad Gita is a love letter of Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is a love letter of Krishna to all the living entities in this world. There. So one time I was going in a bus and there was some Hindi song was going on. This was 10 years before. I was going in a bus and I was reading Bhagavad Gita. And the song was saying, आज हमें पता लगा आप हमसे कितना प्यार करते हो. And I was thinking, yes, Krishna also saying, Lord, by reading Bhagavad Gita, we come to know आप हमसे कितना प्यार करते हो. This is love letter from God to all the living entities. Mahamevancha Jiv Loke Jibhuta Sanatana. And everybody is saying, I do this. And how it says, and then now, verse number 15 to 21, Krishna is telling, whatever you do, I'm the support of that. If you do Jnana Yajna, so he's saying, some people worship me with Jnana Yajna, Chapyanna Yajanta Mam Upasate, Ekadvena Pratatvena Bhuto Vishwato Mukan. Some worship me as a universal form. Some worship me as impersonals, one form. Some worship me as many forms. There. But I'm the Yajna. The Yajna, the Ahuti you give in the Yajna, I'm that Ahuti. Aham Kartu, Aham Yajna. औषधि, आई एम द औषधि. मंत्र में जो यज्ञ में जो मंत्र बोलते हैं, दैट आई एम द मंत्र. अहमेव, अहम ज्योति, आई एम अग्नि, आई एम हुतम. So why to indirectly worship everything? Directly worship me. That's what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, because I am the support of everything. Gati bhartu. And then he's saying, Pitamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha veda pavintanka Omkara, Trigga, Sam, Yijurevacha. So all the Vedas, I am only there. Gati Bharata Prabhu Sakshi Nivasha Sharanam Srata. I am the goal, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, the dear friend. Prabhaya Pralaya Pradhanam Nidhanam Bijam Apvayam. I am everything. Tapamiham Varsham. I am the one who gives the Varsha. Nigrahami Usajami Cha Amritam Cheva Mritusha. I give heat, I withhold and send for the rain. I am mortality, I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. There's nothing beyond me. Tere Vidya Mama Sopma. Now you think, okay, but what about the heavens, my Lord? Oh, heavens. But the problem is, Shine Punyamitte Loka Vishanti. First say, Tere Vidya. Those who do the Yajna, who study the Veda, doing the Somaju, seeking the heaven, they worship me indirectly, not directly. So purified of sin-free action, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet. But there's one problem. Tetam bhuktva sargloka vishalam. After enjoying the sargloka, shirne punya mitte loka vishanti. You again come back. Gata gatam kam labha. What is the use of all this? And then Krishna says, Ananya jantayanto maam ye jana paripasate tesham nitya bhaktanam yog shemam vamyam. Those who do my chintan. What kind of chintan? Ananya chintan. That means no WhatsApp japa, no distracted japa, ananya japa. Those who chant my holy names with the ananya bhav, attentively depending upon me. For such devotees who are doing my ananya chintan. Ananya chintayanto maam ye jana paripasate. Those who worship me, paripasate. For them, Nitya Bhaktanam Yog Shemam Vamyam. So there was a devotee named Arjunacharya. So he was, there are two stories. One in a story is the name of Gita Panda. So it's very famous of reading and reciting the Gita shlokas. He was staying near Puri, and one time there was some drought over there. So for 2-3 days he has not got any food in the home. And he's reading this sloka, Yog Shemam Vamyam. He thought, गलत लिखा है भगवान ने, ऐसा थोड़ी ना बोल सकते हैं, अभी हम 2-3 दिन से भूखे हैं, कैसे बोले. उन्होंने उस पर कट मार दिया. And he went to take bath outside. Now 2 boys came, one black, one white, and they brought one tokri. Both of them carrying a that tokri में बड़ा वाला होता है. And they brought all the food stuffs. And told, your husband has said it. But the wife noticed there was a mark on their back. Say, what happened? Your husband has beaten us. And they went. And then the husband came back. And then, hey, from where the food came? You only sent. And you have beaten the boys also. And they explained what the boys looked like. One was black, one was white. So then it was, she was amazed. In fact, one time I was in Vrindavan. So devotees went for Govardhan Parikrama. I stayed in the room only, I did not went. And devotees had a little transcendent, didn't arrange for the dinner prasadam. They went the whole Parikrama, they came night 12 o'clock. And when they came, that time we used to stay in Gurukul building near ISKCON Vrindavan. Now that is demolished. So I was sleeping there, but devotees came night 12 o'clock. Amazingly, one black person came. He's speaking English. And he brought hot rice, hot dal. See, I'm doing food for life, night 12 o'clock. And devotees first were hesitating. You don't know. Night 12 o'clock. Then one devotee, and he was telling that every day I come, whoever people are sleeping down, I feed them. And one devotee, he actually, he took, then all devotees took. I was so hot and so nectarian. And now the point is, who will come night 12 o'clock bringing hot rice and dal? And that too exactly the same time the devotee returned from Govardhan Parikrama. There. So that means what? Yog Shemam Vamyam. Krishna takes care of his devotees. Another experience I have, we were doing Govardhan Parikrama and we forgot to bring our, we had arranged some prasad but that got cancelled. So we were hardly with prasad. So I was narrating the story at Govind Kund, the story of Madhven Puri, when that Gala comes, when that Krishna comes as a coward boy, that no, I care for you. So, see, amazing. So Madhven Puri, I was saying, so, okay. So I was saying the Madhven Puri, so that Gopal said, how do you know that I'm hungry? And that boy said to Madhven Puri, in this village, anybody who asks for, people get their diksha. But if somebody doesn't ask for him, I personally come for him. And then we reached Surabhi Kund, the opposite side there. And we didn't have food, devotees were hungry, but nobody tells also. And we were hungry. There was a feast going on, and all devotees have a prepared prasadam. They were saying, see, इस गांव में कोई भूखा नहीं जाता. So Lord takes care of his devotees. Now, it doesn't mean that Lord will always protect the body of a devotee. Sometimes Lord may protect the body of a devotee, and sometimes Lord may take a devotee back home, back to Godhead. There. But Lord always protect us in every situation of life. Yog Shemam Vamyam. So like LIC से ना, जीवन के साथ भी, जीवन के बाद भी, परिवार वालों के साथ रहती है. जो व्यक्ति मर गया उसके साथ कहाँ जाती है पॉलिसी. बट भगवान की योग क्षेमम वामी पॉलिसी मृत्यु के साथ, परिवार वालों के साथ भी रहती है, उस बंदे के साथ भी जाती है. अल्टीमेटली ही इज ओनली केयरिंग फॉर ऑल सिचुएशंस देयर. सो देयरफॉर वी डोंट हैव टू डू वर्शिप ऑफ दिस देवता, दैट देवता, जस्ट वर्शिप कृष्ण. देयर दैट्स अनन्य चिंतन. दैट अनन्य चिंतन ये जना पर्यु पासते. We have to just take shelter of Krishna and surrender to Krishna. And then Krishna talks about, so Krishna is talking about pure devotional service in this, that whatever yajna you're doing, everything you're doing, I'm only in them. Why not directly remember me? Why not directly worship me? And now what about those who worship the other devtas? Hi apyane devta bhakta yajante shraddhyan vitaha tepi mame kaunte yajante vidhi पूर्वकम. जो दूसरे देवताओं को पूछते हैं वो भी मेरे को ही पूछते हैं, पर वो कैसे? अविधि पूर्वक है. इट इज नॉट faithful. It is Avadipurka. आमी सर यज्ञ नाम भोक्ता, मैं ही सारे यज्ञों का भोक्ता हूँ. प्रभुरेव चा ना तुमामि जानन्ति तत्वेनाश चवन्ति ते. I am the only enjoyer and the master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature, they fall down. And yanti देव वृता देवान. जो देवताओं को पूजते हैं वो देवताओं के जाते हैं, जो पितरों को पूजते हैं पितरलोक को जाते हैं, जो भूतों को पूजते हैं भूतलोक को जाते हैं, और जो मुझको पूजता है मेरे पास आ जाता है करके. And then Krishna says, my bhakti is so simple to do. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prachati tadham bhakti pratam ashnami pratatmana. That patra pushpam phalam toyam. That just offer me patra, pushpa, phala and toya. Yo me bhaktya, who offers me with devotion, I accept it. तो वन आर्य समाज से प्रॉपर आप बोलते हैं कि भगवान खाना खाते हैं पर सब कुछ तो वापस आ जाता है, हम कैसे समझे भगवान ने लिया है. श्री प्रभु सेज, शुड आई बिलीव कृष्णा हु इज सेइंग आई एक्सेप्ट, और शुड आई बिलीव अ लोफर लाइक यू? Krishna is accepting. And the story of Raghunandan. So this Mukunda's son was Raghunandan. So one day Mukunda was out, so mother told Beta, offer the food. And he didn't know how to offer the food. He put Ganti, Lord, please eat it. And Lord was not eating it. He started crying, Lord, why are you not eating? Lord said, I ate it. I don't understand how you ate it. Okay. And Lord, the deity actually ate the whole bhoga. And he came out. But the problem is, there was no prasad left. Now the mother got a doubt कि बच्चे ने खाया, भगवान ने खाया. We send you aside and the bhoga is off. What will you think? Likely to think. Child is eating and he's telling Lord is eating. And then Mukunda came. He said, okay, maybe Lord would have eaten. He had faith that deity eats. So he said, okay, Raghunandan, go and offer this laddu to the Lord. And he took the laddu to offer the Lord, and Mukunda was watching from behind. What happens? So Raghunandan again offered, Lord, please eat. Lord was not eating. They start crying. And the deity's hand came. Ate the laddu. And half laddu again, then Mukunda saw like that. The Lord stopped. And still that, they said that half laddu was preserved. And the deity's hand is like this. This is in one of the places in, I think, Khetri Grams nearby, this passion happened. So Lord eats it when you offer him with devotion. So Lord's body is interchangeable. It's not that he has to swallow. Just by seeing he can. But you should have faith when you're offering the bhoga, Lord is eating. The Lord is saying this first. And then Krishna says, Yat karosya dashnasi, yat chosya dadasya, yat tapasya kaunte, tat kurushu mandarpanam. तुम जो करते हो मेरे लिए करो, जो खाते हो मेरे को अर्पण करके खाओ, जो पीते हो मैंने करके खाओ, जो देते हो किसी को वो भी मेरे निमित्त दो, या जो भी तपस्या करते हो मेरे लिए करो. तो व्हाट विल हैपन? तत्कुरुषु मद अर्पण. Then, and why Krishna is saying this? So मेरे लिए करो, मेरे लिए करो. No, next verse is शुभा शुभा फले रेवा मोक्ष से करो बंधने. अगर तुम ऐसा करोगे तुम्हें कहीं सी चीज पे कर नहीं लगेगा, फिर तुम मेरे पास आ जाओगे. संन्यास योग आत्मा मुक्तम आप पैसे से तुमने गए. तो हमारे भले के लिए भगवान बोल रहे. एक बच्चा अमेरिका गया, उसको $5,000 मिलते थे. पिताजी ने बोला बेटा $1,000 खर्च करो, $4,000 भेज दो. तो बेटे को बुरा लगता था, कमाता मैं हूँ, पिताजी इसको सब भेज दें. अब बेटा 4 साल बाद अमेरिका से इंडिया वापस आ गया. तब पिताजी ने उसको 1 करोड़ का चेक दिया. बोले अब तेरी शादी होगी, तेरी पत्नी केयर करेगी. तो अमेरिका में रहता था, पैसा उड़ा देता था और गलत आदमी में पहुंच जाता था. The same way Krishna is saying, if we have excess money, if we do here and there, we'll create karma bandhana. If we do everything for him, he will reward us and take us on back to Godhead. And now it seems Krishna is very partial to his devotees, right? It seems saying this that Krishna is very partial to his devotee, does it? He said, Samaham Sarvbhuteshu. I am equal to everybody. Na desho asti na priya. Neither somebody is hateful to me, neither somebody is priya to me. Then आप भक्तों के बारे में इतना क्यों बोल रहे हो? ये भजन्ति तुमाम भक्त्या मयि तेषु चाप्यहम्. Those who worship me, I worship. So Krishna is not partial, but is reciprocal. Krishna is not partial, but is reciprocal. Whoever reciprocates with him, he reciprocates with them. And then he gives, Api cheta sudhanacharo bhajante mam anane bhav sadhu eva samantavya samagvyavsito hisa. Even somebody is a durachari. तभी चेता सुधराचारो, अगर किसी ने कोई दुराचार भी किया है पर भजन्ते माम अनन्य भाव, he continues his devotional service, quickly he becomes a sadhu. So this applies to accidental fall down, not premeditated fall down. कि हम प्लान करके कुछ संस्कृतिफिकेशन करते हैं, it's not applied to that. Some accidental fall down, accidentally devotee became angry, accidentally he did a mistake. Then Krishna says, if he continues devotional service, his mati continues a lot, he becomes a sadhu, he becomes purified. So we should not criticize devotees because they are under the shower of the Lord and all their malas is getting purified. In fact, some of the acharyas is right. What is the meaning of saying sadhu rev samantavya? That he will become sadhu. Because he was already sadhu, he was doing devotional service. They say, who thought that this person is not sadhu? They fell from sadhutva and they will become sadhu eventually. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashva shantim nigachati kaunte padi janahi na me bhaktya pranashati. Mere O Arjun, you declare my devotee never perishes. तो भगवान क्यों कह रहे हैं you declare? क्योंकि अभी पता है भगवान अर्जुन को बचाने के लिए अपना वचन तोड़ने वाले हैं, भीष्म की प्रतिज्ञा बताने के लिए रथ उठाने वाले हैं. तो वो बोलेंगे अरे हम कैसे विश्वास करें. लेकिन कौन ते पति जाने ही ना मैं भक्त्या मैं कुछ भी हो जाए मेरे भक्त का नाश नहीं होता. तो शाश्वत शांति निगच्छति. तो इसलिए कुछ भी सिचुएशन हो, वी शुड कंटिन्यू डूइंग devotional service. Krishna is merciful, but we should not take benefit of Krishna's mercy. That is the seventh offense. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. But offenses done unwillingly, there, that Krishna forgives. And Mami Partha Vipashatya ye apiksu pap yoniya istriyo vaishyo tatha shudro tepi yanti param gatim. This verse looks a little controversial to people. Now why Krishna is saying Vaishya, Stri, Shudra, they api panti param gatim, are the lesser. But according to a Vedic tradition, if you see, generally Brahmanas and the Rajas, they're the one to go do tapasya. And that to men. And the tapasya is the way to attain perfection. Right? Even a normal Gyan Yoga or a Dhyan Yoga. So the people who are Vaishyas, the Veparis, they won't go for doing tapasya. And even women living in the home, they won't go for tapasya. So that look at disadvantage for them from a Vedic context of Jnana Yoga and Tapa Yoga, Dhyan Yoga. But Krishna is saying Bhakti Yoga is equal for everybody. So there is no barrier for anybody. Everybody can achieve perfection through that. Ye api istri vaishyatha shudro ya api anti param gati, because the heart is involved by the means of bhakti, because you want to serve Krishna with love. There. And that's the process of bhakti. Krishna is glorifying that bhakti could be done by anybody, everybody. And Kali Yuga, Kalo Shudro Sambhava. In Kali Yuga, everybody is Shudra. Whatever family you are born, whatever your male, female, all by default nature is mode of ignorance and literal passion. There. But by the process of bhakti, everybody is delivered there. And what requires bhakti is our love for Krishna. And that love is not determined by any gender, by any caste or anything. It's pure love for the Lord. And that's the beauty of bhakti. Kim pun brahmana punya bhakta rajasya tatha anityam sukham lokam prapavajasa. Then, I am a Kshatriya. Should I not practice bhakti? No. Then what to say of Kshatriyas and Brahmanas? They will also achieve your destination by doing bhakti yoga. And then Krishna gives his last instruction, Man manabhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam eveshasi yuktezam atmanam mad parayana. Remember me, Arjuna. Always think of me. worship me, pay obeisances to me, and you will come back to me. This is my great deal. And this is the Bhakti Yoga. And this is the beauty of Krishna's love. So it's like, see, if a person has to go to America, how much difficulty person has to deal. Why? Because if a person has to go to America, he has to, take his passport, first make a passport, then attend a visa, then visa interview takes 1.5 year, then sometimes get rejected, and then you go to America. But if a child, his mother is there in US and he cries, "Mother, please come and take me." Next day, mother will come and take the child. So for a Jnani yogi, going to Bhagavad Dham is like making an American visa or a passport. But for a devotee, he cries and Krishna makes all arrangement and takes him back to garden. So that's the beauty of man mana bhav, mad bhakto, madhyaji mam, namaskuru mam, evasasuyuktevam, atmanam mad parayana. So, and Bhagavad Gita, I can speak much stories about book distribution. I had a plan to have show the verses about Shrimad Bhagavatam. That one of the ways of distributing of book distribution is distributing Shrimad Bhagavatam. See, he's also confirming should read Shrimad Bhagavatam. and actually, sometimes you think, oh, people don't able to read small books, how they read big Bhagavatam. But actually, just having Bhagavatam, keeping Bhagavatam in home is keeping the deity of Krishna. And Iskan Puran says, if somebody doesn't keep Bhagavatam in his home, is not a Vaishnava. And some place where Bhagavatam is not kept, the Yamdutas are waiting to come for that place. So therefore, even if people give Bhagavatam, naturally they want to see the photos because 18 sets are there, 18 volumes are there. They will read at least translation. Some stories they will read and something to understand. So we distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets there. Very, very easily we can approach people because many people have Bhagavad Gita nowadays. But Bhagavatam said very people. And at one time you are giving equivalent to 36 Bhagavad Gitas, giving Bhagavatam sets there. So this distribution and this marathon is very, very dear to Srila Prabhupada. When you distribute books, sometimes women don't understand how book distribution is preaching. But actually, many people become devotees just by getting a Prabhupada books. So many stories are there. And it's also a sadhana. It's also a sadhana. So when we search Srila Prabhupada distributing his books, Prabhupada becomes very pleased. And we understand this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. So it's not about how many numbers we distribute, but we should try our best to search Srila Prabhupada. And if we have a target, then we put our best. That's why we keep a target also there. So therefore, it's very important. We take this very seriously. Service. So and here, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai, Gita Ganti ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Any question? Any one question only? Yeah. Yeah.
Still there will be 4 lokas, no? During
Yeah, only Satyaloka, Satyalok, and this Tapalok and Mahalok. Only these 3 lokas will be there, but they will also be sleeping that time. They will night. There will be no light in the whole universe.
Thank you for making me understand little in depth Gita. So, see, everything is approved by Krishna. Okay, then why he approves someone to be a fool, or like he said, fool cannot understand me, right? So he wants, he doesn't, that part he doesn't.
So Krishna gives free will. Somebody doesn't want to love him, Krishna doesn't force him.
But in the beginning, he has come from him only, no?
But he has come why here? To enjoy separately from God. So it's fulfilling those desires. So because of fulfilling the desire, he doesn't give his knowledge to him.
Only one question. Initially, starting of the session, you said Kala.
One second, Yogesh, you can go down. Bring The car acted immediately. Yes, Praji.
The Suddha Bhaktas, they don't wait for the right time. Kal.
Hmm.
So, you think Bhishma Pitama, he was in the aerobed for almost 6 months and he was waiting for Uttarayan.
Yes.
So he falls in Karma Yogi or he was a
See,
Jnani?
he's a Shuddha Bhakta, but since he is one of the best of the yogis also look up on him. So to set example, he look for Uttarayan.
He was in the Yogi category.
He's a Shuddha Bhakta, but he also was a great yogi also, Bhishma. So to respect that yogi stature, he did like that. And see, Krishna personally came to give darshan. So he was actually more depending on Krishna than the Uttarayan, if you see. And he was speaking all the Bhishma Katha. And so Uttarayan ka chalo abhi Bhagwan abhi hum chalte hain karke.
Actually, Prabhu has another class.
I have one class at 11:30 in Sarjapur Road, so I'm going there.
Hare Krishna.